they were up trees for 9 days. So I was kind of on the ground. There really were not many people here. Certainly not many people that had ever been in an eviction before or a tree camp before. And to be honest, I mean, I've been tree support loads of times, but I've always been able to get to the tree. I couldn't get to the tree. They put up that many rows of fencing, and they were starting to starve the people out the trees, and they hadn't gone up there with much food or water. It happened so quick. And they were literally grabbing hold of people's lines as they were climbing up that, which was so dangerous. So after about 4 days, and we were getting messages, from people up the tree that their stomachs were eating themselves, and the panic and the terror and just the helplessness and it was really freezing. It wasn't like now, and it was a really basic camp. There were lots of issues, and it was awful. And then people that had been at Harville Road turned up, and it was amazing. It was like the cavalry had arrived. They just came with their ingenuity and their drive and their energy and their amazing ideas. And we eventually got a scuff tower up and shot lines over to the trees to get them food. I stayed here because I knew we had to grow this camp. I knew this camp had to be a kind of base camp, but more than that, it had to be a community. I knew it had to be a landing ground for a lot of people that need it and that will come. And so now is the second part of our important journey, which is making the communities, so people can land here and they know what to expect. They know what skill shares that they can do. Nobody goes out anywhere or does anything unless, one, they're comfortable with it, and two, they've had all the legal information. They know exactly what's going on the ground. So we can't invite people here under the present COVID protocols, but we're not going to stop people. Once people see what was going on and what was happening here under the cover of COVID, where thousands of bat roosts were just being ploughed down and then put straight into the chipper. And I'm talking about their nurseries. This is bird nesting season. This is badger cubbing season. What is happening here is pretty much unprecedented, really. And it's all happening because there is nobody here to monitor it. Natural England, that gave out the licenses, pretty much, well, we're not going to send anyone. So you're doing what you're supposed to be. Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine then. Yeah, okay, carry on. And so we've been here, not only doing direct action, not only, doing what our hearts are telling us to do, which is to save the trees that are being, these are healthy trees. These are our ancient woodland trees from a long hundreds and, couple thousand year heritage of the soil, of the nutrients, the ecosystems that have evolved here. The amount of people's lives that are being displaced, as in they are having their homes stolen, they are having their land stolen. Now, this is like back in the Normans, this is like back in land grabs, this is archaic, this is feudalism, is what is happening here. Hundreds, must be thousands of homes and land and workplaces down at Harville. He's built up his life there and his family's life there, and he is being kicked out. They are paid the minimum of what can be paid for their property. Nobody has been paid, by the way. Not one single penny has exchanged hands. The woman here, whose land we're on, their lives have been pretty much decimated by this. We are the lucky ones. We are the lucky ones because we get to be here. We get to be fighting against something and for something we love. Something that around the globe, around the planet, there are people fighting for. They get shot for doing it. We get the net enforcement team. They are violent, but we are alive. We are also the lucky ones because we are here. We are building a resilient community, and these communities will go on. Once you've been through something like this, it's really difficult to go back. The earth is changing, and we are going to have to make friends with the earth really soon, or be in a community where you are supported, because this is happening. It's going to happen a lot faster, and people need to be ready. We've got to see past this capitalist juggernaut, this empire in its final stages of breakdown, of collapse, because it was unsustainable, because they have ripped out as much as they can rip out. Before I came here, I had a spinal injury, and I was ill. I was just ill and depressed. And after a month, I mean, my back hasn't twinged a bit because I'm walking on soil, I'm not walking on tarmac, and I realised that's what it was. Everyone that comes here comes with something. You have a skill that even you don't know you have, and it comes out here because here is needed. We are having to live as a community. That comes with a lot of pressures, but we have to very quickly, because we're all relying on each other, not just here for our survival, but for our liberty. We look after each other. The amount of support that we give each other here, and it should just be normal. Maybe not hanging banners from police cells, but you become healthier emotionally, physically, and mentally, because you are doing what you love. You're doing what is necessary.